Good afternoon. I wanted to share with you some visions that the Lord had given me last year in September. I was in gym and all of a sudden I had two flash visions. And so when I got to my car, I reflected on why the Lord interrupted me during gym with these visions. And it was clear to me that the Lord was trying to get my attention. One of the visions was of the 5 virgins that had enough oil to meet their bridegroom Jesus. The other one was of Ruth and Esther. And as I reflected on that, my question was, Lord, what do they have in common? What are you trying to tell me? Well, they were all prepared to meet their Redeemer. And this was my interpretation. In other words, we need to be positioned. And I feel like positioned was a strategic word the Lord spoke to me. While I was still pondering, I thought, surely we need to be prepared to be positioned. Suddenly, I was aware, if God showed me these visions of the virgins, Esther and Ruth, then He's giving us a key that now is the time to position ourselves. Just as Esther did when Mordecai said, for such a time as this. I believe this is what God wants you to hear. Time to be positioned. Not in the future, but now. You can say it was a now word. What is it going to take to be positioned was my next thought. Well, it's all in the parable of the 10 virgins keeping their oil burning. With Esther, the 12 months of oil and perfumes. And lastly, with Ruth, serving faithfully. Consider the preparation that brought them before the Lord. In order to be positioned, you will have to let go. And suddenly I was aware of the eye of the needle, as in Luke 19:24. Paraphrased, it says, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of the needle than a rich man. Letting go of all that encompasses us. And the few things I could think of was pride, relationships, idols, hurts, and so on. All that hinders us from moving forward through the eye of the needle, this narrow place, maybe the door that stands before us is what is being presented to us. When you let go, you will gain heightened discernment. As part of the preparation, things will be revealed that you may not have seen before. The eyes of your heart will be enlightened, and it will be clearer what needs to take place to be positioned. Positioned as in, don't hide your light under a bushel, which the Lord is speaking to me over and over again for the body. The Lord is not just coming so you can feel the warmth of His embrace. For many years, I've immersed myself in the Song of Solomon's, being refreshed, embraced, and growing closer to Jesus, my bridegroom. The Song of Songs says in 2:16, I am His, and He is mine. This resonates with me. But we can't stay there and not go to the next place. And in the Song of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 5 through 7, it says, "Who is this coming out of the desert, leaning on her lover?" There's a timeline the Lord has for us all, to be strategically positioned as Esther was, who was positioned to deliver the Jews. What are you positioned for? I say to you, awake, arise, and don't hide your light. Surrender to be positioned. Thank you. Blessings to you all.